Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1171. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Thursday. This week's kind of gone fast. Usually the weeks that go fast are the ones where it's like card show week and I feel like I'm running with like a chicken with its head cut off. But this week's gone fast and I don't have anything going on this weekend, which is nice. Because it's leading into it's going to be a busy summer. My next card show, let's flash this on the screen. I will be set up a week from Saturday at the Sports Center in Loves Park. Where in the hell is that banner at? I need to delete some of these. Some of these are old. Indoor Sports Center, Loves Park, premier card shows, Saturday, May 11th. So come see me. Loves Park, by the way, just right next to Rockford, Illinois. So I'll be there a week from Saturday and then heading down to A-Town, Anawan, visit my mom for Mother's Day weekend. Then I think I've got a weekend off. And then it's Madison Card Show. Madison Card Show, Saturday, May 25th. By the way, if you are coming into town and staying, we do have group rates available. I'm going to get that uploaded to the link on the Madison Card Show website. It's on the Facebook page if you're on Facebook, Madison Card Show. So group rates available for May and June. Looking to lock in the July, August, September dates. Hopefully they allow me to do that here in the next couple of weeks so we can lock down the summer dates as well. This month's show, May 25th, we'll have a full house once again, 175 tables, 3 ballrooms. May 25th, Saturday of Bratfest weekend and Memorial Day weekend. What else is going on? So, and then a busy summer. I did some more yard work yesterday. We had another nice day, sunny in the 70s. So I had to finish trimming. It was basically just mowed on Tuesday. So finished up trimming. I weeded the garden. So that's what I did yesterday. Well, last night. Did some shipping and listing. Listed 1,000 cards this morning. Yes, thank you, Card Dealer Pro. 957 Old Heritage Miners. I've had these, and they were semi-sorted, and I had a box, and I'm like, you know what? These, I can just blow them out at 99 cents. We're going to talk about that. 99 cents. Well, how much do you profit on 99 cents? Well, if you come in and buy one card at 99 cents, I lose money. But there's a method behind that madness. So yesterday I was I'd been listing a lot of autos and Bowman prospects, and I guess these are prospects, Heritage Miners. But it's like I need something a little different, and I try to mix it up. I don't want to go heavy listing one thing. I want to have a nice variety of things. So I think I'm going to hold off a couple days. I'll add some autos here and there, but want to do some like Hall of Fame junk wax stuff and get some of that because that stuff really moves. Speaking of moving, sold more of the factory sets. I think I've grossed over $300 on the factory sets from last week's purchase that basically I looked at as a throw-in to the deal. Like, these aren't worth that much. The 2018 set sold for $200. Somebody bought a couple of the 2021 and 2020 sets, I think. And I may have sold one other set, but more than over $300 in sales on factory sets. Who knew? So that was a nice little bump from that purchase. So it's going to rain today, which I'm kind of looking forward to. I was outside half the day on Tuesday, a couple hours last night, and now it's like, you know what? I've had enough vitamin D the last few days. Let's bring on the rain. I also yesterday, I did some overseeding to the entire lawn a couple of weeks ago, and it just didn't, especially in patches. it's going to take more than overseeding to get some of these patches to get some grass going. So I had a big bag of dirt. So put put some fresh dirt in some patches in the front yard. I've got the side yard I've still got half the freaking side yard is just dirt. So I'm gonna have to go get some more. I'm gonna have to get some more fresh dirt, lay that down on the side, and throw some grass seed on it. So I love in-ground sprinklers. I didn't have to sometimes watering, like I still water, like the sprinklers don't get some of the flower beds. So I enjoy watering sometimes, but what I didn't enjoy was watering grass. And I can just, so I threw the dirt down and I'm like, damn it, now I've got to get the hose out and I've got to water the new grass seed. But I'm like, oh, got the sprinklers. Just go in, boom, push a button, zone 1. Love it. Love it. So got that done yesterday. We're going to talk eBay today, usually a hot topic. And I still have my Post-it notes. You're asking, yeah, I'm leaving this Post-it note to remind me every single day, multiple times a day, that, hey, get these damn videos up. Do this. And I need to create, what I need to create is a thumbnail, because it's going to be a series of videos, because they're going to be shorts, 60 seconds. You don't want to listen to me talk about watering my grass. You don't want to hear me talk about grilling burgers last night, which I did. It was just regular burgers, nothing special. You don't want to listen to that stuff. You want to hear the cold, hard truth, or what I envision is the cold, hard truth about eBay sales. So we're going to do that eventually. I don't know when, speaking of eventually, I don't know when I will do another YouTube live sale. I'd kind of penciled it in for tonight, Thursday night, but we're not going to do it. We'll get to it. Now it's like, it was a nice winter time activity, but I do have a bunch of bulk. So we'll see. Might do some blowouts. I might take advantage. I tried 1millioncubs.com. It's still active. I still pay for it, but I don't really utilize it. I should. And I pay the premium because I have a storefront that I pay for that I haven't used in a couple of years. And I've thought about putting like flat rate boxes, like instead of just doing auctions, like go to the website and do that. At least for, that price point, it's worth it. It's not like quarter cards on a website. It's bulk. So might do that. So we'll see. It's going to be, don't count on it, but it's an idea. It's an idea. So what else? There was one of Cubs win. Wow. What my Cubs chat was blowing up with chatter at the end of the game, and I was not watching it. I was on the couch upstairs watching Grey's Anatomy with my wife. I'm kind of enjoying Grey's Anatomy because I did watch it, the first few seasons of it when it came out 20 years ago. So when my wife was watching the newer episodes, I'm like, I don't get this. I don't know these characters. And then I'm like, go back to like the early seasons. Now I'm enjoying it. So anyway, chat is blowing up. And so I had to go to MLB TV, get the Cubs game on my phone, and was watching the replays. And holy cow, I have not, because I was on my phone and they didn't really show many replays. Now, I was also watching the Cubs broadcast, so they may not have shown the close-up, which leads me to believe maybe he was safe. I bet Mark Marinello thought he was safe. I don't know. So I was watching that, and Cubs win. They called him out, double play. So great victory. Noon game today, which I'm looking forward to, because by nighttime it's like I just want to retire to upstairs and take it easy. I spend all day down here in the basement, so it's nice to see light of day. Although I get nice light in here, but it's just not the same. All right, we're gonna talk a little eBay today. I see we'll spin back around to the bulk sales because I see a couple comments regarding bulk sales here. So we'll get to the top of the chat and then we'll wind our way back to some of those flat rate sales. Where are we at? Porter's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Philly Joe is here. Good morning. Today's Thursday, right? I think. Oh, now you're confusing me. I'm pretty sure today is Thursday because yesterday was trash day. Trash and recycle day. So I do know today is Thursday. Confirmed. Terry, good morning. George in the house. What's happening? Good morning, Brian. What's up? Victor, good morning. Great win last night. Great finish. Early game today. I like the early game today. 12-10. Early game since it's on the East Coast. Cubs and Mets. Porter says Cubs gave the Mets the old Cincinnati bow tie. The old Cincinnati bow tie. Is that I'm not familiar. I've heard of the Cincinnati bow tie, but I could, if you told me to, give me the definition of a Cincinnati bow tie. I could not. I was surprised at how few people knew what was the term that Andy brought up the other day. What was that one? Cincinnati bow tie. I don't think I can say this on YouTube. Just go to Urban Dictionary and look up Cincinnati bow tie. See, I've heard of the Cincinnati bow tie, but I could not define it. I will not read it. I'll let you go to Urban Dictionary and find it for yourself. When I was growing up, I was a townie. So I did not ride the bus. So I had heard all of these terms by the time I was in like 5th grade, because my friends that rode the bus learned of the Cleveland Steamer and the Dirty Sanchez and the Cincinnati bow tie. And what was the one the other day that was brought up? So I learned all of those at a young age, but I didn't know. And the kids that rode the bus, those jerks, those pricks, the kids that rode the bus, they would use sexual terms learned on the bus from their elders. They would use that as currency. And they would hold it against the townies that didn't ride the bus. And I didn't have siblings. Well, I have really old siblings. Really, way just ancient. I didn't have any in school at the same time as me. So I didn't have that. I couldn't go to my older brother or sister and say, hey, what's a Cincinnati bow tie? And then they would teach me the way. Well, they would tell me what it was. See, I didn't have that. And I was not fortunate to ride the bus and learn all of these terms. The old Cincinnati bow tie. Low Roller Scratcher with our Bitcoin update. It's dropping. Here's what I've learned about Low Roller Scratcher. It doesn't matter how much Bitcoin is. He just tells you to buy it. So, I used to say, he did tell us to buy it 20,000. He did. But he also told us to buy it 75,000. Now, I know Bitcoin crypto, it's a long-term hold. It's, but it's under 60. So if you would have bought when Low Roller Scratcher told you to buy 3 weeks ago and you wanted to sell today, you'd lose money. Don't listen to Low Roller Scratcher. David, good morning. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. Hobby Evolution on the background of a rainy drive. So Kyle's south of me. So it's looking really, it's looking cloud. When I woke up this morning, we had a pink sky, which is not good in the morning. Pink sky. It's pink sky in the morning. Sailor. Pink sky in the morning. Sailor take warning. Means we've got rain coming or maybe storms. And now the pink skies are gone, and now it's just clouds and ugliness, which is okay. I'll take some rain today. JW, good morning. What a crazy ending to the game last night. But Cubs win. Ted's in the house. What's going on? Collects is here. Low Roller says, I got new negative feedback. How new? New? Like overnight new? Or is this, this is an old, I've seen this one. Oh, this is the Pearl Jam guy. Yeah, this guy was a dumbass. Yeah. I did respond. I gave him a refund. I told him, I'm like, open a case, open a non-received case. And he didn't. And then he waited a week, gave me negative feedback. And then he waited another week and sent me a message. I sent him another message. I'm like, open a non-received case. I'm not just going to give you money, because what happens if you just give them money, they can go back and open a non-received case, and then you owe them twice. That's why you always refund through eBay. So that was why that he didn't get his card. So, and that happens. People don't receive their items. I get it. So, value box digger, why did you leave him a negative feedback? JW had him a shower beer. Yes. Shower beer after last night's game. Now, did you drink a beer in the shower, or did you shower yourself with beer after the win? Am I going to the National this year? 90% no. Only under, I'm not saying 100% I'm not going, but I'm 90% not going. I've got too much going on. I'm free that weekend, but I just have so much going on in this summer. I've got the 84 reunion. I'm going to be volunteering down there at Club 400 Monday and Tuesday. And then a week later, I fly. We're going to Switzerland for 2 weeks. I come back for the Madison Card Show. And then the following week would be the National. So just based on limited time, it's more of a time thing. But never say never. You never know. Steve's in the house. Good morning. Cubs winning games with some questionable calls. But hey, nice to have luck on our side for once. Yes. So I did not, and I just mentioned that I did not see close-up replays. And I was watching the Cubs broadcast. And you can tell when, and I think there's somebody, who's running the video board. If you're at Wrigley Field or you're on the Marquee Network and it doesn't favor the Cubs, don't show the replay or show angles that it's like, oh, I can't really see. And Marquee last night was showing the angles that you really couldn't see, which lead me to believe he was safe. Was it Pete Alonso that was tagged out at home? So, but I haven't seen close up. But the call on the field, again, I haven't seen the close up call, so I can't really argue. But the call on the field the call on the field was out, and it takes indisputable, irreputable, whatever the hell that is. Sound like Don King. Indisputable, irreputable. Low Roller's got a new video up. Good morning, Johnny Boy Cards. George, I don't sell on eBay, so I want to hear about burgers and grass. So your shorts will do me no favors. Well, I'm not making them just yet. I'm just going to talk about it until the end of time. I'm going to do this. Value box digger, you should try flat rate boxes on Sport Lots auctions. I heard that those do good there. You did not hear that from me. I have never done a Sport Lots auction. I haven't sold on Sport Lots in 7 years. I can't believe it's been 7 years. I have not sold on Sport Lots in 7 years. I was really heavy into selling on Sport Lots between 2015 and 2017. And I think at the peak, I had close to 200,000 cards in my Sport Lots store. But it just became too much. I was not organized. I started when I was at the first house my wife and I lived in back in 2015. And man, it was a disaster. When we moved into the new house, it was much better, but it was still it was a time suck. And for the money, and I wasn't as organized as I probably could have been, because it works for some people. Sport Lots is a great platform for some sellers. For me, it just, the sorting. Ugh. And the thing is, I can sell 25 Robin Yount cards, 25 single Robin Yount cards and make $20 on eBay. You put those on Sport Lots and everybody has those cards and nobody's buying them on Sport Lots. So Now, are they buying them every day on eBay? No, but it's just I feel it's more liquid on eBay. So sport lots, I think it's good, but it's just not for me. George says, how many Bitcoins did the scratcher win for you, LRS? Value Box Digger wants to know if Collects will make it to the Minnesota show, the next one in September. James says, I sell bulk medium flat rates twice a week. Good way to get rid of common stars and refractors. Easy, 40 to 50 bucks. JW says, I thought it was safe. I was really surprised that it didn't get overturned and really happy it did. That's kind of the sentiment I was reading. Sounded like the Cubs got away with one last night. 17-0. I don't know what that means. Morning, Mark. What's going on? Christian's in the house. The old rusty trombone. Yes. The rusty trombone. The Blumpkin. That's what we were talking about the other day. The Blumpkin. A Portuguese breakfast. Oh, I don't know. We did an episode a while back where we were looking at terms on Urban Dictionary. Let's just plug in Urban Dictionary. I don't think I'm familiar with a Portuguese breakfast. It's a way to eat an omelet. Oh. 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 That's pretty gross. The old angry dragon. Now, I have heard of the angry dragon, but again, I'm terrible. This is why I am not good with like reciting movie quotes. Okay, I am familiar with the angry dragon. I had to read it. That's why I'm like, I've got friends that can just stand around in a circle, drinking their Busch Light and talking about and just reciting Adam Sandler movie quotes and Jim Carrey movie quotes. And I'm like, what movie is that from? And then they're like, oh, it's Billy Madison. I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that. Like, I cannot remember movie quotes unless it's from Mallrats. I remember the Mallrats movie quotes. Rusty trombone is my favorite hilarious image in my head. Sports card ripping teacher says, is that what really happens on the school bus? Another ho-hum victory. Go Cubs, go. Orlando's in the house. What's happening? Mark is here. Good morning. Imanaga, very impressive. Oh, and by the way, Alonso. What? Mark thought he was out. A lot of Cubs fans thought he was safe. Interesting. I haven't seen any close-up because Marquis was not playing close-up replays, which led me to believe he was safe. Club 400 on WGN. Yes, I missed that party. Well, it wasn't a party, it was a get-together because WGN came to do some filming. But it was on like a Tuesday. They filmed that on like a Tuesday evening. So I didn't make it down. But yes, I need to watch. I don't get WGN. But I'm sure it's going to be online. Cooter's in the house. What's going on? Cooter sent me an awesome. Let me see if I can look at it. Check this out. That's from Cooter. Very cool. And I think I have at least one of the cards. I thought I had the Frank Chance, but I do have the Joe Tinker. That's in that poster. And a poster and some coasters. How about that? The Sky Chief Lounge. Very cool. Thank you, Cooter. UPS, I could hear. I was out on the deck last night. I was watching Ultimate Frisbee. They're in the park behind me. They play Ultimate Frisbee a couple nights a week. And was grilling some burgers. And I'm like, Ultimate Frisbee. And I just pulled up a chair as the grill was going. I'm like, I'm going to watch this. It was really entertaining. And there was a white team and a colored team. That didn't sound right. So one team had white shirts on. The other team had various colors on. One guy had a red shirt on. One guy had a black shirt on. So the white team came out and they're like, whoo, 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 and they had their own like team chant. And I'm like, oh, damn, these guys are like pros. These guys are coming to play. No, they were all talk. They sucked. They sucked. The other guys came out and I'm like, this ragtag bunch of guys didn't say anything. They just kind of huddle and they just kind of wander out onto the field. And then they fucking kicked ass. They made some awesome. Like I was like, oh yeah, nice catch. It was really fun. So anyway, I was on the couch on the deck and I could hear the UPS truck rumbling through. And I'm like, oh, there's my package from Cooter's package. And I went inside, got it, and told my wife, I'm like, this is from my friend Cooter. And she goes, who? And I said, Cooter. She goes, what's his name? And I'm like, well, his name's Tom, but we call him Cooter. Where are we at? Mark says, if Alonso slides feet first, he's safe. Doesn't matter. They didn't hit all night. Yeah, neither team did. 1-0. 1-0. Paul's in the house. Good morning. Don't know which one of you geniuses dropped this tip, but the duct tape on the bottom of the 5-row is amazing for keeping cards from sliding down. My quarter box is going to be clean. So I've mentioned this in the past. However, somebody in the chat has said it's not good because of like the residue. I don't know. Is that person that was in here? Because I haven't done it. It's annoying as shit having cards slide all over. But I've not done it because somebody said like the residue from duct tape like melts or like, I don't know, does something in it. So it's not good. It's not good. So I don't know if that person is still in here. It's been a long time ago. But yeah, there's nothing worse than like freaking cards sliding all over in the bottom of a box. Rumor Sport Lots has custom SKU now. I haven't confirmed, but if that's true, it's a game changer. If there would be a way, that would be a game changer in terms of, okay, I'm just going to list. Well, no, it's still going to be a pain in the ass to list. Because if you grab a pile of random cards, listing it to Sport Lots is even worse than if you sorted them because it's all by, so even by custom SKU I wouldn't see that as a game changer because it's the listing process that becomes the sorting and listing that's the issue with Sport Lots. In the past 2 days, flat rate boxes are terrible. Well, James loves them. Paul hates them. Ground Advantage Cubic can be as much as 70% off of the same size. I've been selling out my bulk fast on eBay with these box lots. Just a touch under 20,000 cards sold. There you go. And sometimes I think it depends on zone because I've priced out. I think when you brought up the Ground Advantage rates, one of the examples I used, I think Ground Advantage was cheaper, but it was like $1 cheap. It was like $14 instead of $13, and I don't have to worry about a box. If you have boxes, sure, save the dollar, but with flat rate boxes, the box is free. Philly Joe just looked up the Cincinnati bow tie. Collect says we have one ambassador that might do the Minnesota card show. There you go. See, that's when you have ambassadors. There you go. Brian Wolf says just watched 5 seconds of a low roller video. It was rough. No offense, my man. We'll try again later. Shane's in the house. Good morning. No worries. We are tardy friendly here at Hobby Evolution. That dude from Duryea. I've heard most of these topics, but no shower beers. And I lived in a fraternity house for 3 years. So we had plenty of creative ways to drink beers. Interesting. No shower. Pennsylvania. I assume that you're from Pennsylvania. Like I think 90% of the people that said they haven't heard of a shower beer are from Pennsylvania or like New Jersey, which is close enough. Somebody commented on the West Coast was familiar with shower beers. Mark says, nice poster. That Cooter is a good guy. Cooter is the man. We'll report back if the duct tape has problems. Yeah, I can't remember who. It may have been Cooter that said it. I put a piece of felt in the bottom of a box to keep cards from slipping. No adhesive residue. Kyle says, just found out Hobby Evolution is even better after stopping off for a Casey's. I'm jealous. Did you have the breakfast pizza? If so, I'm really jealous. I'm going to tell you what, and I've been outspoken about how I feel bacon is overrated. The bacon on the breakfast pizza is a no-go for me. Like, I would rather just grab a breakfast sandwich than have a breakfast pizza with the bacon on it. It's just not, it just ruins it. But like the sausage, egg, and cheese breakfast pizza from Casey's, it's the bomb. Value box sticker. I just put an empty blaster box in the row to keep cards from sliding. That's one way. You know what's a cheap way? Instead of buying like the foam from one of the supply companies, I went and bought it's like the air conditioner pad foam. It's like $2 at Menards, and it's like you get 3 feet and just cut it up, and it's not pretty, but it gets the job done. Just get some air conditioner liner foam or whatever the hell it's called. $2 for like 3 feet and gets the job done. Or you can use empty blaster boxes. I use what's perfect is the top loader, the little box holder that top loaders come in. Those are perfect. What else is good? There's something else that's really good. Do I have any boxes behind me? I don't. Paul says the cubic you buy on Pirate Ship, eBay doesn't offer it, just normal ground advantage, which can also be a ripoff on 2 pounds or higher. I priced it on Pirate Ship, wherever it was going, and whatever it was. It was like $1.50 difference between flat rate and ground advantage, whatever the cheap one is on Pirate Ship. But then I'd have to find a box. Good morning, Jody. So we're going to talk a little eBay today. Little eBay talk. I didn't have a topic, and this is like I've been kind of alluding to this, and this is part of what's going to go into my video. And since I've just been teasing it, I might as well just tell you what I believe is solving the eBay algorithm. I am going to do a video on this, but I'm just, I don't know when I'll do a video on it. So frankly, let's just get it. Let's just rip that Band-Aid off. What? How? Where? When? Why did I solve the eBay algorithm? So I've been doing some more listings on 99-cent cards, low, super low end singles. Sometimes you got to take a loss to make a profit. That's today's topic. Topps Heritage. Topps Heritage was an interesting release for me for sales. I sold like all of the short prints and variations right off the bat. Chrome, right off the bat. The singles, I'm like, I am not selling a damn single. But about 2 weeks in, a week in, 2 weeks in, all of a sudden, I'm just moving Heritage. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to see a trickle-down effect. I'm selling other stuff as well. Is that the key? Is that the key to unlocking the algorithm? Kind of. What I also noticed, as my sales increase, so does my, and I follow a lot of these analytics closely that are in your seller hub. And I list more, and sometimes I list really good stuff at really good prices, and yet it just doesn't trip the trigger of buyers. And my traffic still seems kind of low. And I start gaining momentum, and I'm watching the numbers. My impressions aren't going up much. My page views aren't going up much, but there's one analytic that has seen a big increase. And I believe that is where the algorithm lies. And that's how you can solve it. Now, knowing that is not now, and I haven't got into it yet, but just knowing what stat it is that you need to look at, you've got to get that number to go up. So it's not just like, oh, hey, I found the key, let's unlock it. Now we're off to many, many sales. What's that analytic? It is sales conversion rate, which is frankly a stat that until 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I paid little attention to. And maybe that's why my sell-through rates were so low. And as I see this sales conversion rate going up and up and up, my sell-through rate is also going back up. Am I adding great items? No, not really. Nothing different than I have in the past. But I think what's fueled the sales conversion rate to spike is the spike in sales for Topps Heritage. Sales are spiking it. Sales conversion rate defined. The number of sales, the number of sales transactions divided by the number of listing page views. And this was always a stat that I poo-pooed. I'm like, sales conversion rate is just based on page views. And it means little in the scheme of sales. In fact, I may have been completely opposite on that. I may have been completely wrong of ignoring the sales conversion rate. Because when I saw the sales conversion rate drop and drop, low as 5-6%, my sales are not good. I'm adding good stuff and my sales are still not. I'm still not, even with great items at great prices, I'm still not tripping that trigger. But now I'm moving crap at good prices, but it's still crap. So I think that sales conversion rate number is a lot more important than what I believed, and that I think many others kind of look at. So how do you get that number up? There's many ways to do it. I'm listing a lot of cards at 99 cents. However, I'm not listing a lot of cards that are commons, 91 Topps. There's some commons, sure, but I'm not adding 91 Fleer. I'm not adding 90 Upper Deck. I'm not adding junk wax crap, but I'm adding junk wax Hall of Famers. I'm adding current prospects. I'm adding current cards, new release products at 99 cents. Well, I can't afford to list cards at 99 cents, you may say. You can't afford not to, because sometimes you got to take a loss. Now, do you want to take a loss? Do you want to sell a bunch of, do you want to make 100 sales at 99 cents each to 100 different people? No, because you just lost money for the day. But what happens, it's a snowball effect. The more sales you can make at 99 cents, the more people come in and buy 7, 10, 30, 50. That's where your profit comes in. And that's why I do it. If I wasn't making profit, I wouldn't be doing it. And it's stood the test of time. In fact, I've kind of gone back to, I've had the 99centcards.com. Let's throw this on the banner. May 11th, Premier Card Shows, Indoor Sports Center, Loves Park, Illinois. See me there, 99centcards.com. eBay link also in the description. I had that 99 cent card website or domain back in 2020. And when I was listing 99 cent cards with free shipping, and I could actually make money on a single transaction. I was getting pre-stamped envelopes for what, like 37 cents per envelope. That's envelope and postage. My stamp guy ran out of stamps. ESE came along, and I'm like, I'm just going to bite the bullet. I'm going to spend this extra money. And I'm glad I did, because it's the insurance makes it worth it. The tracking and all that stuff. So I'm glad I did make the change when it came about. But with that change also meant an increase in postage prices in what I'm paying out. And now a 99-cent card on a single transaction is now a loss. So it's about 15 after supplies and fees. It's about a 15-cent loss. So we're going to go to Johnny M. And that's absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I have 53,000 active listings, over 100,000. I listed almost 1,000 cards today, most of them 99 cents, free shipping. Heritage Miners from 2022. Yeah, I'm not saying if you have 100 listings, list them all at 99 cents. It's a volume game. You're not gonna have volume transactions, volume sales of 10 cards on the regular if you only have 100, 500, or 1,000, or even 3,000 or 5,000 listings. It takes a really big store to get those volume sales coming in. If you're 1,000 or less, yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I mean, but also you can't be a museum either. And sometimes you have to take a loss. Maybe it's not 99 cents. Maybe it's a $10 card that you have to move for $5. But I think eBay, the algorithm also will punish you if items sit for a long periods of time. Now, that doesn't mean if you have, I sell items frequently that have been sitting on eBay for 5 years. And when I say frequently, I mean once a day, once every other day. But they're there, and all of a sudden, it's funny sometimes when I see, and it's somebody that comes in and buys. At Red Light 34 bought some cards from me the other day, and what I couldn't find, it's been in my store for probably 5 years, maybe 6 years. And sometimes when I have items that have been in my store for 5-6 years, I can't find them. But they still will move, but I do think they're probably suppressed somewhere in the algorithm. Let's get some chats out of the way. Where we at? Let's see. Where are we at? Dan's in the house. What's going on? Duryea from Northeast Pennsylvania, went to college in Lock Haven, 30 minutes from State College. Penn State is a highly respectable party school. Wet naked beers. Yes, just no soap. Ziggy's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Cheers to you. Value Box Digger says, throwing out the first pitch, the key to unlocking the algorithm. That I'm sure I saw a slight boost, but that's not why my eBay sales actually started really spiking a few weeks before the first pitch. I think that has little to do with the eBay sales. Does it help? Absolutely. Everything helps. Every piece of marketing helps. Every little touch you make is going to help. Is it going to be a boost? Are you gonna see 100% increase over a viral video or being in the newspaper or whatever? No, but you may see some trickle down effect. Brian, won a box of Heritage Minis on Fanatics. Already sold it on eBay. Not a bad way to make a few extra bucks. There you go. By the way, we talked Heritage Mini yesterday, and I said it's going to be a good buy. I did not, however, put my money where my mouth is. I did not buy. I have Bowman coming in next week. I'm still going through the collection from last week. So I decided to sit this one out and did not buy any of the Heritage Minis that were released yesterday. Paul says, I think STR is huge too. When I switched to just lots, I had more solds than actives, reintroduced singles, $10 and up, and my STR dropped. It feels like a lot of sales slowed down too. Still got to track. That's interesting. I wonder if it's also, and I think I brought this up, and I don't know if it was you or someone else that completely closed out their store when they listed everything. All of a sudden, their sell-through. I wonder if it's that's just the way it goes. If you completely shut your store down, take down all your items and list all singles, I bet you see a massive increase in sales, similarly to what you listed as lots. So I wonder if that's just regressing to the mean. as opposed to singles versus lots. Brian says, I saw how many top mini cards were available on eBay already. Decided not to buy any of the boxes just because it would be too late by the time we actually get them. Yeah. 4 1-of-1s were already listed on Tuesday night. Out of what? I guess Heritage is, it's a big set. So probably 500. So pretty small, but Johnny M, good morning. The only numbers I care about is the number of cards sold in my net income. Well, what if those numbers are down? If you're happy with those numbers, great. But if you're not happy and you want more sales and you want more net income, you've got to pay attention to these numbers, because these numbers tell the story of why your number of cards sold is down and your income is down, or vice versa. Why I'm talking about this, my sales are up. And we always talk about, oh, my sales are down. Something's wrong with the algorithm. My sales are up considerably over what they have been. And I'm curious why. And I don't think it was much different than, I don't think my April was, I'm not saying my April was crazier than, and I can't compare it to March because I'm gone in March, half the month. But I compared it to last April. And it was up, but it wasn't like 100% up. It was 15, maybe 15% up. And that's under, probably 1.5 times the listings. So I should have been up more. I should have been up 50%, not 15, but that's just not how it works. That's not how the numbers work. But over the last few months, significantly higher. And I want to know why. I want to know why these, it's important to track, yeah, obviously, at the end of the day, what's your bottom line? That's important, but it's more important to know how you get there and learn, how did I get to this bottom line? Yeah, net income is the most important thing, but you got to know why you got there. Because if you don't, you're not going to repeat it if you're doing good, and you're not going to improve if you're doing bad. So it's important to know these other numbers. If it's just a side hustle and you don't care, then it doesn't matter. But if you're wanting to improve your sales, increase your sales, or if you're doing this full time, it's absolutely imperative that you know that information. Watch Shark Tank. And if you don't know your numbers, what are the sharks? The sharks will eat you if you don't know your numbers. What's up, Dan? Brian says, adding liquid cards has made a huge change in my daily sales. Liquidity is so huge. 90s basketball inserts, 2024 Heritage Hall of Fame player lots. April was a great month. Good to see. Good to see. And I've heard like varying degrees of success on eBay sales for the month of April. I've seen there's a thread on the blowout forums. Seems like a lot of guys in there were down. I know some guys in here are up. So it's interesting how it just varies from seller to seller. Just talked about that. Mr. Archer, good morning. Jamie says, how do you get people to buy more than one at a time? I have a coupon. Volume. How many items? First question, how many items do you have? If you have less than 10,000 items in your store, it's going to be very difficult to get volume transactions. Let's do a little exercise. I have over 100,000 singles in my eBay store on 53,000 items. Let's go to, I wonder how I can orders. Let's see. What's an easy way I can do this? I know there's a way. Let's see. Can I do yesterday, today? What was yesterday? 5/1. And I just want to show you, because sometimes it's like, well, I do this and I do that and I'm just not seeing the results. And so yesterday I did 107 sales. I think I can download a report. Let's just do that one. Let's see if this works. All right. Volume is the key. You can do coupons, you can do 50% off sales. None of that's going to lead to volume sales unless you have volume in the store. Son of a bitch. Store category, eBay. This does not have. Damn it, that's not the report I needed. There's a report that I can download. Oh, I wonder if it's in. Waiting. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of great tools on eBay, but man, sometimes it's really difficult to find what you're really needing. Okay, let's just do date paid. I wonder if can I sort by date paid? I don't think so. All right. So let's just say my last 100 sales. My last 100 sales, single, 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 1 volume, 2 volume, 3 volume, so we're looking at my last, well, there's a 4th, there's a 5th. Looking at my last 100 sales, looking to see what type of volume. There's 6. There's 7. There's 8. There's 9. There's 10. There's 11. There's 12. There's 13. All right, we're at 13. Going once or towards the end, I think. There's 14, 15, 16, 17. So 17 out of my last 100 transactions were volume. 83 were single card sales, which is right in line. I think the examples that I use when I run numbers is 15%. So that kind of lines right up to my numbers. So 17 out of 100, and I have over 100,000 cards in my inventory on eBay. So if you have, if you're looking at 17 out of 17%, say you have 1,000 listing, what's that? 7 or 1.7? Is that what that is? 17%. I should know this, yeah. So I use 15%. I use 15% as just kind of a marker. 15% should be volume. So, what are your, where are you at on listings and all that? Paul, lots of the way to go. I've sold twice as many Ken Griffey Jr. cards as Burbank in the past 90 because of lots. Now, volume is one thing. What's the difference? Because I could sell 100 Ken Griffey Jr. cards for $100, and your 100 card lot might be 40 or 50. So what's the dollar amount? Value Box Seeker says, let's be real. If you had the stamp guy, you would hate it because you would be handwriting them envelopes. No. You can print. If you go to eBay, so here's a tip. If you have to ever print, if you're not printing off, here, I'll show you. So here's I don't want to show this dude's address, but if you go to here, maybe I can hide. Okay, I can hide it. Okay, so here, if you do have to print, so sometimes Puerto Rico, you cannot use ESC. It's about 50-50 for me. 50% of my transactions going to Puerto Rico are not eligible for ESC. So here's what I do. You can actually print. You don't have to handwrite it. You can print and see on the right side where, so this guy's in Linden, New Jersey. Right below Linden, New Jersey, it says print. And that will print on your label, on your thermal label, the address and only the address. And it's perfect. James says, you bringing out the dime boxes. No dime boxes. New quarter boxes, new dollar boxes. No dime boxes. What is a recommended rate for promoted listings? I do up to 12% dynamic. I know some people do just the kind of the minimum 2%. Some people do 5, some people do 10, 8. It varies. I do up to 12%. I think it also, you have to kind of play the numbers and what can you get away with. But I do up to 12%. I do dynamic. Not every single sale is 12% promoted. Some are 3%, some are 6%, some are 12. When you sell 15 cards at 99 cents, do you have to ship in a bubble mailer at $4? 15 cards, yes. I will ship up to 12 cards in a PWE. 12 cards go 3 ounce ESC for $1.12. But 15 cards, I would put in a bubble mailer. Yeah. So you're looking at 15 cards. You get the 25% discount plus $4 shipping. Still making a good profit. It's decent profit on 99-cent cards. Grinding for good. Happy Thursday. Johnny M finds that selling endings sell similar Thursday to Sunday always moves some of the older inventory. Good morning, Stuke. Brian says, I think it's fun how we are all competitors on eBay, but don't mind sharing advice. I mean, when you look at the grand scheme, like, are we really competing with each other? Not really. Not really. Johnny M says, as I posted in Hobby Evolution, my sales are up 92%. And I'm gonna keep calling you out on this. It's not because of your lack of promoting and lack of accepting best offer. Paul says, I have no competition. Nobody does the lots like me, at least for now, till my app is done. Brian says, 2024 Topps Heritage Blue Sparkle Refractor Dansby Swanson needs a new home. Looks like this week already got away. It did, yeah. Value Box Digger, what are you trying to do? Find volume orders, sort by highest price sold, and it will at least bump them closer to the top. Oh, yeah, that would probably work also. Jody says, I thought if you put in a quantity of 10 available for an item, eBay counted it as 10 listings against you. That is not true. No, that is one listing. So like this morning I did, so this pile of cards is actually 957 cards. So I've got a box behind me with the duplicates. So there's between like 13 and 17 of each card. So it was, I think, 64. So 64 listings, 957 different cards. Porter says, I missed most of the episode where you were jotting down topic ideas. I'd like to be more informed on what metrics to track and how to pull various reports. Okay, so let's see. Man, I think I need an episode to watch on where to track. But what metrics is a good one? Metrics. I'll just do sales metrics. So I'm going to do a series of videos on increasing eBay sales. So some of the topics, 99-cent cards, which we've been discussing here today, free shipping, the algorithm, which we touched on today as well, patience and time. I don't know what that. Oh, I know. Okay, now I understand. I think that was a shower idea. Shower. Have you ever heard of a shower idea? You haven't sure heard of shower beers, but shower idea. Packaging, storage, organization, promotion levels, which was actually just asked here previously in the chat, SEO, search engine optimization, acquisition, bookkeeping, acquisition and bookkeeping. Those can be actually two separate categories. Acquisition of supplies, promoted listings. Oh, I think we can tie that into promotion levels, sales metrics. We've added that to the list. So those are some of the lists, some of the ideas that we'll expound upon. Paul says the majority of people will buy just one card no matter what, at least in my experience. At 100K active singles with a buy one, get one free coupon, most people still buy one. That is true. And that's why it's about 15% of volume sales on over 100,000 cards available. But when I get somebody that comes in and buys 20 Robin Yount cards at $1.50 or $1.75 each, it just more than makes it, worthwhile. And I can get those, it probably takes me, it would take me the same amount of time to list 100 singles that it takes me to list a lot of 100 when it's all said and done. A good percentage of eBay buyers don't even realize there are actual stores within eBay. They just search what they're looking for and buy. And I'm guilty of that. Like I'm usually looking for like one card catches my eye. I'm usually not looking for bulk buys when it comes to eBay. Like I'm looking for Adon Sanchez or Jefferson Rojas. Every once in a while, I'll be like, oh, I wonder what else they have. Or I'll just I'll be searching Cubs and I'll see this item and this item are from the same seller. I'm like, oh, I wonder what else he has. So not often am I buying volume on eBay. So I ask you this, for those that are actually selling and looking at volume sales on eBay, are you doing that on the buy side? Are you buying singles or lots in volume? Are you going to Paul's store and buying multiple lots? Are you coming to my store and buying multiple singles or anybody's? Because I don't as a buyer on eBay. Paul says chasing multi-card orders is like ripping wax to chase hits. The odds are stacked against you. Lots is the answer. Then every order is a multi-card order. But then your sales volume is also way down. I don't think you're moving 100 to 200 orders a day. Now, when you do, sell a couple lots, certainly the price per item listed is higher. But I do this full time. I can't sit around waiting for lots to sell. I'm moving cards, moving volume, which leads to sales, which is the topic of the day, and leading to that triggered algorithm to spur more. Post-game cards is good to know about Puerto Rico. I've had about half two. I was wondering. Yeah, so the issue with Puerto Rico is the eBay users that set up their address have Puerto Rico in the country field. And I had a regular buyer that was Puerto Rico in the country, and I messaged them. I'm like, hey, your address is Puerto Rico. Can you change that to the United States? Otherwise I can't send this through the standard envelope. I think they eventually did get it corrected or changed. But that's why. Puerto Rico is in the country field, and for whatever reason, eBay hasn't allowed that to. I'm sure there's some glitch. I don't know, or I don't know. There's a reason. Porter says I've been very successful with my 40% off 8+ coupon. That dude says I had the Puerto Rico standard envelope last week. The buyer has to have their address updated, PR in state field and USA in the country. Yes, and that's what. And I don't even bother reaching out to them because it's just like, I'll just slap I've got stamps next to me, print the address, slap the stamp on, and away it goes. Value Box Digger says to Jody, it's one listing. It's 10 items in a sense with how much a seller can list. Yeah. So it's, that's a great point. So it is one listing, but if you do have seller limitations, if you're only, so like in my example, this is 64 listings, 957 cards. Now, if my limitations, if I had limitations of 100 items or 100 listings or 500 items, I would not be able to do this because I would have gone over my items limitation. So you do have to watch that. So if you do have limitations, that is something that the quantity, it's not listings, but it is items that go against your monthly limitations. Post-game card says I had to look as I do lots too. I've come across your listings a lot when I'm looking for comps. As a buyer, I love the style. Let's see. Paul says having the automated list of singles in the description is huge because it allows the low to appear in searches for those singles too. Johnny M says recently listed 10 auctions at a penny, starting with free shipping just to see what would happen. Total sold was $1.75 less than I would have sold it. Buy it now. That's a win. I do have the luxury of not doing this for a living. Maybe spend 3 hours a day on it. Paul says my average sales price is $30, down from $40 since introducing the singles, averaging 4 sales per day. The lots is actually a real path to potentially making this full time. Well, there you go. And there's nothing wrong. It's the thing is, there's nothing wrong with lots. There's nothing wrong with singles. Neither way is the right or wrong way. It's just what suits your needs. I am streamlined and efficient to do singles, and I move a lot of singles and sell a lot of singles and have success with it. And hopefully that continues. Paul's having success with lots. Neither of us are. You got to run your business the way you run your business. Let's see. Brian refunded $85. Then they got the card that day. Never scanned. How do you collect? He wants to pay. You can actually you can have him PayPal, and eBay will I would probably reach out to eBay just so your message doesn't get flagged. Reach out to eBay and say, hey, this is what happened. The buyer wants to pay. I refunded him. The buyer got the item. Now he wants to pay. And they will probably tell you, and this has happened before, and I've seen it pop up where eBay will be like, yeah, they can pay you through PayPal, because there's no way through eBay that they can do it. You could probably put it like a ghost listing up and be like refund, but then you're going to pay eBay fees on it. So I think eBay will allow you to have that be a PayPal transaction. Unicorn Cupcake wants to know what a popular lot size that sells more frequently. Jody says that's my issue. For some reason, I only have about 60,000 items. I do 100 card lots, 2,400 bulk boxes. Brian says I bought multiple cards from you once or twice before, but now that you save the Nolan Ryans, for me, there's no need. Aha! So that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Heritage Miners, about 1,000 went up. Probably get another 1,000 up. I've got another 957 or so to list. And we'll do some shipping and listing and shipping. Tomorrow is Friday, which is a free-for-all, which means we'll play Name That Player. So I'll have to get organized, unlike I was last week. So we'll play Name That Player tomorrow morning. And we will have Hobby Evolution both Saturday and Sunday this weekend. No shows for me this weekend, but I will be in Loves Park a week from Saturday, May 11th, Indoor Sports Center, quarter boxes, dollar boxes. And I might I might bring some of those factory sets and just see if I can blow those out at $5 or $10. Some of the older ones, the junk wax stuff, just to see. Because now I've got, there were like 4 in last week's buy, 2 in like a previous purchase, like a bunch in a previous purchase. So I've got a bunch of them lying around. We'll see what we can do. So that's next Saturday, May 11th, Indoor Sports Center, Loves Park. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Help me move more cards. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link in the description. Like, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Central.